channel. Just listen. I have nothing to show you on camera at all on this video. I'm actually headed to Walmart right now. I have like 10 minutes to spare. I want to talk about an important issue going around in the private security sector. Hopefully you guys are watching what you touch. I had to actually call in sick for work today because all my kids have the flu and I'm the only able person that can head out and get all the medicine and everything else. So yeah, make sure that you guys take care of yourself. Hey, Professional Security Journal, welcome to our live stream. Appreciate you putting in the work that you do and appreciate your videos as well. Hey guys, I just want to share something with you real quick. So Randy from GVPS has really hooked me up. He's having his friend Phil, who works for Miami-Dade Police Department. He's on some special, I want to say special tactical team. He has a company called Dynamic Weapon Solutions, and Randy's flying him out from Miami. He'll be out in my neck of the woods teaching a 3-day snipers course. It's really crazy interesting on how to get into the course. You have to know somebody, and money will not get you into that course. Randy's not charging me, and he is hooking up quite a bit of my friends. So I'm just like shocked. I've been wanting to go to a course just like this in Los Angeles by it's called International Tactical Seminars, or I think Solutions, and I've been waiting 3 years to finally be able to use my 308. So thank you for Randy from GVPS for doing this for me. I don't even know what to say. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, you know what? You keep putting Randy on here from GVPS on air, talking about him, because you're marketing his stuff and you're getting like kickbacks." Look, let me tell you about the marketing stuff real quick. All of the security work that he has nothing to do with this channel. He got all this on his own. Other stuff that he's working on, once again, he gets it on his own, not through this channel. I did help him out with trainings, getting the courses filled, but quite honestly, he probably broke even with the expenses. You guys gotta listen to me when I'm telling you to come out and train. We have good trainers. I've been saying this all along, and the classes have not been filled. I'm talking about the close quarter combat courses. I told you guys I have a guy that's a former SOF veteran that trains with people I can't even mention. And again, the smart people are the ones that came down. The smart security company, the smartest out there, protective services, they got a handle of this, and they send a whole platoon of their security officers for this training, and they paid. Anyhow, hey, I want to talk about canines, and I'm not going to go deep into this, maybe like 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, but I want to talk about canines and private security, how most of the time you're just looking at a pet. I'm getting really sick and tired of security companies out there getting a German Shepherd, aka the GSD, because it sounds like a cool name, and putting patrol dog or security guard, they're putting a patch on their canine Molly vest that they have, and they're selling a lot of security services, and it drives me nuts because most of these canines, they're fake. They're just pets. I have a guy that I'm not going to mention, confidential informant, that tried to reach out to one of these security companies in hopes of getting canine services, and all he asked was, and by the way, this is a gentleman from Ohio. He mentioned something to the effect to them of, "Hey, you know what? I'm interested in obtaining your services. Where do your dogs train?" And you want to know what the response was? The response was nothing. There's no response at all. I went back on this this Instagram page, and by the way, this is your top tier security company in California, your top performer. Who I'm not going to mention right now. But on Instagram, I even mentioned something like, "Hey, you know what? That's cool. Your canine just graduated from training. Hey, by the way, where does he train? Like, I said it very, very mature, very cordial. And when I post the major video, or the main video, you guys are going to see how kindly I asked. And guess what? There's no response, no acknowledgement. Yet with recent posts, as long as you're complimenting this security company, they'll give you the heart symbol on Instagram. They'll say thank you, or they'll say some nice things. By the way, I am on Instagram under The Firearms Trainer. Once again, The Firearms Trainer, common spelling. That is one way that you could communicate with me and watch some of the content. Okay, so let's talk about trained canines, okay? So there's a couple of standards. You know, you have the federal standard, and then you have no standard, which actually isn't a standard, and then you have the California post standard or post standards. This particular security company advertises that they have post-trained canines. So I went to the California Post website and I looked up, or I searched for any recent canine training. And this is the basic course, which is approximately 160 hours. And I could be wrong on the exact hour count. And you want to know how many canine companies I found that actually have a post-certified canine school that's active, meaning that you can enroll in one of their courses within the next 12 months. Here, let me turn on my light real quick. 0. There are 0 courses. The only courses that there are basically your updates. It's like your up. That's all it is. You'll see a 1-day course, a 2-day course, or a 3-day course. That's your update course. Now, in order to go to these update courses, your canine needs to be fully trained. I think on the federal level, one of my buddies got his canine trained by Border Patrol. I think that was a 6-week program. And every single month, he's required to go through 1 day of training. I forgot how many hours. Okay. There are some post recommendations that you have to abide by, and they recommend, I want to say it's like once a month of training. Your dog needs to be current, and it needs to be training all the time. But what you have are these security companies out here that are shortcutting the process. And I also want to mention this. When you see, and I learned this from a well-respected canine handler, when you see canines out there with a muzzle over the mouth, you want to know what you have? And then they say canine unit or whatever it is. You have an untrained canine. That dog could potentially bite somebody, and that's why they have a muzzle. Guys and gals, we should treat canines like humans. How would you like it if you are, you're a human being, I mean, which you guys are, and then somebody put a muzzle so that you be quiet or you don't bite anybody? I mean, that's pretty messed up. So I am not a dog lover. As I don't love pets as much as a lot of you guys do, but I just think that it's inhumane, I don't want to say inhumane because dogs aren't humans, but that's not right. You put a muzzle over them for the duration of their patrol because you think that they're going to bite somebody. That's what you have as an untrained dog, and that's what we see a lot of in the security industry. One possibility, though, is that this particular security company, and actually I want to say over a dozen, they might be paying a private trainer to provide the post-level training, which is like 160 hours, by the way. My next question is, what security company is able to afford sending one of their officers to canine school for 1 month? Because you send a security canine officer to school for 1 month, what is that person isn't able to perform their patrol duties unless they're doing like a huge overtime route, or huge overtime post, or huge overtime situation, for lack of a better terms. I don't see that happening. I mean, you're going from paying, I don't know, $20 an hour to like $35 or even $50 or $60 an hour, depending how much you pay your officers, because of the whole overtime. I don't see it happening. And then usually what you'll see is in all these Instagram posts and YouTube, you'll see the owner of the company with their canine. And usually they'll be the only canine officer. Well, yeah, okay. The owner could probably afford 30 days, maybe even 60 days of taking time off of work, and I say that with quotation marks, to attend canine training. But your line level officer, I don't see that happening. I mean, you're going to have to pay for that officer to go to canine school for almost a month. And then somebody has to replace that person. It doesn't make any sense. And how much is that going to cost? Is this canine school going to cater to that one canine officer for that security company? I mean, if they do, then they ought to be charging an arm and a leg, because I don't see a lot of canine training organizations wanting to fork out 4 weeks or 6 weeks of training to train one canine. What I'm saying is this: you guys got to be out there asking questions. Ask these canine handlers, like, hey, you know what? I like your canine. I'm really intrigued by the concept of security having a canine unit. Just curious, where did you get your canine trained? It's not being offensive. It's not being rude. I mean, if it's being rude or offensive, let me know in the comment section box below. But I think it's an honest question. And if that security company does not give you an answer, well, I would start, you know what? These dogs that they're displaying on YouTube, Instagram, they're probably just pets. Probably just pets. For those security companies that don't want to give us answers, and by the way, sometimes we have teams of 30 that ask questions. Sometimes we get intel from your people that would be your customers. It's really important that you guys answer to your social media accounts. Just answer. You know, guys, if some people were just honest and provided me answers, like this other security company that I might be putting on blast for another issue. I think the tactical, you know, they fancy themselves as being a tactical unit, yet their tactics are all screwed up. I just ask them basic questions like, hey, who trains you guys? What is the background? People don't want to answer. That's fine. You get a social media review on this channel about your company, and then you're gonna have to explain in the comments below how your canine officer is certified. Are we asking for a certificate? Well, you know what? I think sometimes we are, but we're just asking you minimally to answer the question. It just doesn't make any sense. And guys, this is straight fraud. If you're advertising to your clients that you have a detection dog and you have an account with a school district, if that dog is just a pet and you just you just throw on a patch that says canine unit, caution on the patrol unit, caution for dog, and this dog isn't really capable of detecting explosive materials, they're not capable of detecting narcotics, that's fraud. I mean, that is pure fraud when you do that. And it's happening too much in the security industry. Maybe I'll do a video for the consumer on how that they can report this type of fraud. I'm not an attorney, it's not legal advice, but under contract law, the general rules of contract law, if you provided a fraudulent representation, like your canine unit is a bomb or a narcotic detection dog, and it isn't, that contract could be null and void. So that the client could get all the benefits of that contract, doesn't have to pay you a dime. And maybe I can get with some people, and we could put your canine units to the test, because I'm telling you, it's fraud. Can you just imagine that if you advertise that you have an explosive canine unit, and then let's just say you work for you have a contract with like an amphitheater. I'm not pronouncing it right. It's been a long day, guys. This cold has been going theater. I can't pronounce amphitheater. And all of a sudden, you do your routes with your explosive canine who isn't trained, who's just a pet, and all of a sudden the amphitheater blows up. And had this canine been trained, he would have detected this ordinance that was in the path of travel of this canine. What would happen? Well, you would have straight fraud. And I would hope that the prosecutor's office would prosecute that security company, actually that canine handler, as an individual for making that misrepresentation. Also, that security company. All right, guys, I'm going to go through the comments. I'm sure I'm stirring the pot. Oh, yeah, I stirred the pot a little bit. Security guard command is here. He says, what's up? Hey, also, guys, please go to the community section tab of my YouTube channel and please answer in the survey. I asked you guys, what security company would you feel comfortable protecting your business, protecting yourself or your family? I had like 4 choices. One of them was Black Knight Patrol. The other was Allied, Securitas, and Garda, Garda Force. Oh my goodness, man. Garda. I know someone's going to save me in the comments. I forgot. They're included in the Nationals, as Mike from the Professional Security Journal would say. I just need you guys to answer honestly. Sometimes what we get managers, account managers, the owners of these companies, seeing that we're doing a survey that could potentially affect them, and then they through their cell phone account, they text the survey to as many employees as they can so that they can fill it up in such a way that's favorable to them. So that's all I got to say. Make sure you guys go over there and please provide an answer. All right, sorry for getting sidetracked. Let me go to the comments before I grab my medicine. Professional Security Journal says, Sean, careful about mentioning Randy. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Mike from the Professional Security Journal always reminds me, hey, be careful about mentioning Randy in a funny way. The TB, American Dream Chaser, says, hey, guys, what's up? Hey, what's up to you? Mr. Fusion says, how do you identify a bad security trainer? My Class G instructor was great in classroom and teaching tactics, but on the range, he put pressure on us to finish for some reason. You know what, Mr. Fusion? I've done like 4 videos on that one, on how to pick a good trainer. Maybe I'll do another one in the next couple months. Robert Brown says, okay, what about the security officer that wants to take these and we don't know what we can do? What do you mean, like take these accounts? I don't know what he's referring to. Jack Spade Production says, fake canine units. Just because I have a tactical Chihuahua doesn't mean I'm fake. Oh, man, that's funny. Christian says, does canine dog need to be fully trained, and do we need to register with BSIS? No, it doesn't need to be fully trained. Wait a minute. Register the canine with BSIS. As for the canine that needs to be fully trained, put it this way: you cannot make representations without that dog being adequately trained. So you cannot say, hey, we have a drug detection dog and we are going to sniff lockers at this local high school for you for a fee, and then all of a sudden, you do half-assed training with your canine. Like maybe it's a 2-week course or 3-week course, and then you just do like 2 days. That would be a false representation as well. And I know a lot of canine handlers that wouldn't mind testifying as an expert, because I mean, in a way, it's a stolen valor concept. Professional Security Journal, he says canine is like 3,000 to 5,000 at a minimum. Yes, thank you. And we know that Mike does his research. Oh man, I'm gonna try not to laugh. Mr. Fusion says, let's all switch to cats. They're the only animals where they will scratch and attempt to murder, and yet everybody will still want to pet it. Not me. Not me. I hate cats. American Dream Chaser says, unless it's like a stadium before a game and it's like a canine bomb detection dog, I don't really see the point of a security canine. More sounds like a liability to me. You know what? TB, this is a tight niche community. I mean, there are clients that want that canine presence. But once again, it's a tight niche community, and I think that there's security companies out there that cut corners, and large security companies out there that absolutely cut corners. And I think that it's time that we expose them pretty soon. through the comments real quick. Oh, Jack got some jokes today. You know what? I was doing good without coughing, and because I have a headache, my laughter just activated my headache or this sharp pain right in my eye because of what Jack said. He said, I trust petting a cobra over Allied Universal. Oh, man. He's referring to the survey. Oh, man. This guy got some jokes today. Oh, there you... See, my my personal secretary who got upgraded to the JSOC operator saved me here. Garter rolled. Yes, thank you, Garter rolled. Christian says... Christian Acusar says, what if I'm just in a patrol car and just taking my dog for a ride along? Is that illegal? No vehicle sign stating canine. That sounds like a liability because the insurance company is going to want to know, like, what? How come you didn't tell them that you have a canine in the vehicle? Because it does increase liability. You got to be really careful about that one, okay? And also, it can give, I mean, your dog, maybe it'll bark, maybe not, but it'll give others impression that you are a legitimate canine unit. And I say that with quotation marks. Yeah, so if you're doing this, it's not a good idea to have a canine with you if he's not trained and authorized to be in your vehicle. Yeah, no, don't do that. It looks bad. And then the question is, why are you doing that? Yeah, so Mike from the Professional Security Journal says, I wouldn't do it. Good way to get in trouble by your employer. Thank you. Mr. Fusion says, Allied Universal would just have guards on their phone constantly. Not every one of them is like that, though. No, they're not. And I know a lot of people are watching this from Allied, maybe from Securitas. Yeah, no, you guys are good people, but I think you guys have crappy management or leadership, and I say that with quotation marks. Christian says, I'm part owner, but still process. Allied is Allied Fusion, yes. Professor Security Journal says, and Christian, if you're owner, then I don't see an issue. There's nothing about like state regulations or whatever. You know, I agree. I agree, but I don't think it's a good idea for those reasons that I explained. Agent Darkness. Hey, he hasn't been here for a while. He says cats are the best. Robert Brown says, now can we chorus? Thank you. Hey, Doug is here. The best trained canines come from Vonchi Lynchy kennels in Indiana. Each dog minimum 20,000 hours of plus training. You're looking at 80,000 per canine. Oh, yeah. So, one of the guys at work, and this is so cool. I've been trying to get one of my partners to do a children's book on this, but his canine was a canine rescue from Ukraine. I think it was a former military canine or former police. But obviously something happened, and this guy trained him. And anyhow, yeah, he was $80,000. I think we got a huge discount. I think they went down to 30,000, and then it ended up being like $17,000, I believe. Mr. Future says, don't get a cat unless you want a pet that commits 10 felonies a day, right? You guys are funny, man. All right, guys, looking forward to the comments in the regular comment section box below. Let's go to my survey. Please connect with me on Instagram under the Firearms Trainer. I will do another video on this where I will show you social media accounts. Please close your social media accounts. If you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, Facebook, you don't want to be shown on any of my social media reviews. Now, remember, I do reviews on good companies, bad companies, and mediocre companies. Do reviews on everybody. We are an equal opportunity review company. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the regular comments.